Good morning, guys. Welcome to Power Up 365. How are you guys doing this morning? And what happened in the first week of your business? So this week you got into business. What happened in the first week in the business? So I want to share what I was doing. So this whole week I've been looking at CVs and I've been interviewing and making sure I can set up my 2021. Why is that important? Why was that important to me? Number one thing, it doesn't matter. I've zeroed up my goals. I've decided I'm going for big goals in all my companies. These are the turnovers I'm going to get to. I had a kickoff meeting with my team, and the one thing I needed to make sure, do I have the right team, right? Do I have the right team? And the way I call that is, call this a bus, and do I have the right team on this bus, right? Do I have the right team on the bus? Now, that was the one thing. So if I have this goal that I want to go to, I need to ask myself, do I have the right people on the bus? But more importantly, I had to sit down and evaluate and think of each person. And I had to think of, are they in the right position? Are they in the right position on this bus as every day they come to work? Okay? They come to work. Every single day they come to work, and these people are on the bus. And I had to also look at the leadership. So each team needs leadership, and who are the leaders of these teams? And I am the leader, and I take responsibility for everything that goes. Everything that goes wrong, I take responsibility. Everything that goes right, it is due to my team. Okay? And you can only go so far in your life depending on the team you have. It doesn't matter how big goals you have. It doesn't matter what the vision is. It doesn't matter what the budget is. It doesn't matter. Your team will get you there. So you need to make sure you have the right team on the bus. And I also realized I needed more people on the team. And this created a bit of an issue, because if you actually look, in 2020, we took a knock. Revenue went down. We lost some clients. So why would you be hiring more? Because the goal that I'm going after, this team is not enough to get to that goal. Now, if I need to hire 100 people, and right now I'm going to hire 10 extra people to get to the milestone of the new goal, of the new target, where I want to go to in my life. Do you guys getting that, right? And I had to divide it up. Then I called each, I haven't done that all, but I've called some leader heads of certain companies and said, this is the goal that we're going to do. This is the new plan. This is the vision that we want to achieve. So I had to make sure I have the right people on the bus. I had to make sure I'm getting them in the right positions. I'm still busy interviewing. I'm still busy hiring people, because I can't get going. If I don't have the right people on the bus. But what I do know is I'm doubling up. What I do know is I'm not using COVID. I'm not using anything. I will double up. I'm going to push up. I'm going to zero up my turnover. What does that mean? That means if you are making $1 million, you got to zero up, and you got to go for 10 million, right? And if you're going for 10 million, you need the right people. You need the right people in the right positions on the bus. Then you need to make sure the environment. Now, there's two things, okay? If you want to increase your business, there's two things, right? You have this team, right? And you actually have a client. You have a team and you have a client, right? You have a team and you have a client. So the one thing you've got to look at is the environment that your team is going to work in. Now, the environment has to do one thing. Whoa, this Cokie is leaking like crazy. I've just gone red. So, what is the environment? First thing with the environment, you've got to allow your team to grow. You've got to allow your team to grow, right? You've got to allow your team to grow. They need to know there's opportunities here. You've got to allow them to be themselves. You've got to allow them to grow in the environment. So you've got to create this environment for them to grow. That's the way you do it. Okay? The second thing is you've got to make them feel safe. You've got to make your team feel safe. Now here comes a contradiction. You've also got to have a code of honor and have a high standard. What does that mean? A high standard. You don't take bullshit. You don't whine. You don't have crybabies in your team. People need to get on with business, right? So as much as you support them, as much as you create this environment, as much as they know there is safe, but you know what? You've got to push your team to get the best out of them. And you've got to believe in your team. But that means you don't entertain bullshit in the team, right? You want a high standard. And this is why. When you go to the client, right? And this is it. Small things make all the difference. Small things make all the difference. Small things make all the difference. Okay? What are you going to focus on to create an environment for a client? Now, let's just say I'm an accounting firm, right? So I can go and do your VAT. So what we said is anyone can go do your VAT. What are the small things that are going to make the difference? Hey, let's call the client and let's say, hey, listen, we're about to do your VAT. We've got your information. Let's correspond with the client. Will that make a difference? Great. Will that give us an edge above the competition? Yes. Think of a restaurant. A restaurant, you go in there and you walk in there. Now, all restaurants are going to supply you food. Then they're going to supply you a plate. They're going to supply you a knife. They're going to supply you a fork. They're going to maybe have music. Now, what are the small things? What type of plate is it? How does it come? How do they greet you at the door? When do they seat you? What type of knife? Is the knife clean? Is the knife? And is it sometimes clean? Is it not sometimes clean? Do you always have a great experience, or do you sometimes have a great experience? That's the standard. So my best example is the Four Seasons. Four Seasons is one of the greatest hotels with a great service. Four Seasons, you go in there, the people create the environment for the client. The people create the environment for the client. Okay? So when you get a coffee at a Four Seasons, it is with those people, that employee, that team member, he's going to make sure that coffee, how it comes to you, how he talks to you, how he goes the extra mile, making sure you're happy, following up with you. That is a great experience. And where does the success, where does the money, where does the profits come from? It comes from the client. Is the client having a great experience? And the client cannot have a great experience if you have not set up your team to be able to know that they are confident, they are willing, they can grow, there is opportunity here, they feel safe. And you know what? The one thing is, there's a code of honor, and you're going to hold them to that code of honor. You're going to push them for that code of honor. You're going to make sure you don't entertain bullshit. And let me tell you this, there are four types of people working for you. Right? The one type of person that's working for you is a leader. It's a leader. He comes to you. He's leading your team. He's being an example. He's not whining. He's getting on with business. He's always making sure the vision is first. He's deciding up front. He's holding people accountable. That is a leader. You can rely on the leader. The team can rely on the leader. And he's always there making sure that the vision is going forward. A leader needs a team. So the second type of person is a team member. You need a team member. And without a leader, if a leader doesn't have a team, and we are all leaders sometimes, and sometimes we've got to be team members. But that's the heart of a business. You get leaders and you get team members. And the next thing is employees. Employees are people that do just enough. They do just enough to get their salary. They are the 8 to 5 people. They do their job. What is expected? Hey, what does my employment contract say? This is what I must do. They do just enough for you to keep their job. There's no fireworks with an employee. They just do. They want the job. They want the paycheck end of the month. That is why they're there. They are an employee, and they're not hot nor cold. You struggle to get rid of them. You struggle to push them up. Their mind is somewhere else. They most probably don't want to be there. They're not fulfilled. They don't love what they do, but they need the money, so they come to work with resentment. They hate getting up to work. They hate going there. It doesn't really move them. There's no growth for them. They're not passionate about what they're doing. Those are just employees. They do what is required. Okay? And the fourth one, which is the worst one, is passengers. Passengers are people who are getting a ride for free. They're just there. They're in the shadows. When you walk in and you say, who's going to do this job? They try and avoid to do anything as possible. They want to do as little as possible. They want to get away with something. They are lazy. They will not put up their hand for anything. They will not volunteer for anything. They will not do it. They are passengers in your company, right? They don't believe in your company. They're just passengers. And they're in the shadows. They're in the shadows. You can't see them. They don't pick up their hands. They never add value to anything. They don't contribute in any way. They're in the shadows. They're usually the gossipers. They just create a bad environment. Those are the people that are called passengers in your companies. Now, how do you grow a business? With leaders and team members. The Four Seasons has leaders and team members. Leaders and team members. That is how the Four Seasons goes around. The competition, if you go into a company with leaders and team members, or you go into a company with employees and passengers, every single time, the company with leaders and team members will outdo you, will outwork you, will outperform you, will create an experience that you've never seen before. And that is how you build a great business when you come into teams. Just remember, you have to get the right people on the bus in the right positions. You've got to zero up your goals. They've got to know about it. Then you've got to go and create a team, and a team has got the environment. And the second thing, it's a standard. You have an environment and you have a standard. You create an environment and you push the standard. And for that to happen, you need energy. You've got to hold that space, that standard in the company. You can't accept that the light is down. You can't accept that the TV is not working today, that there's no power today, or something's happening. You walk into your company and you make sure there's a standard. You can't accept that the client didn't get a telephone call on that Monday. He needs to get that call because we have a high standard in our business. When you have a high standard and you have the right people on the bus in the right positions and they feel safe and they can grow and they can earn big money, and then you go on to the client needs an experience. The client needs a great environment to do business with. He will love it. He will love doing business with you. And the only people who create that love, that attention, that environment, that great service is your people. Make sure you build a great business, but start from the foundation. Get the right people around you. Make sure you hold your team to a high standard, and make sure you create an environment that is safe and that they can grow. Thank you very much, guys. This is Johnny Eliades, your success strategist, and I will see you at the top. Cheers. Bye.